Why is it that some people enter a room and instantly command respect without raising their voice, without explaining themselves, without trying? Most people today talk too much, react too fast, and reveal their emotions without realizing it. They think intelligence is about sounding clever, but the truth is harsher. The most dangerous intelligence is silent, controlled, and disciplined. In a world addicted to noise, impulsive reactions, and emotional exposure, those who master restraint gain an unfair advantage. They see patterns others miss. They think clearly while others panic. And they are never easily manipulated, because they are never predictable. Stoic philosophy understood this centuries ago. The Stoics didn't train the mind to impress. They trained it to withstand pressure, resist provocation, and remain unshaken when others lose control. That kind of intelligence doesn't beg for approval. It doesn't chase attention. It quietly dominates situations through clarity and self-mastery. Today, you will learn 8 ruthless Stoic laws. Laws that sharpen your thinking, harden your emotions, and make you dangerously intelligent. Comment below. I choose discipline over impulse. Law 1. Control your reactions or be controlled. The moment you react without thinking, you hand over control of your mind. Not just for a second, but often for much longer than you realize. Most people believe their reactions are natural, even justified. Anger, defensiveness, urgency, they feel honest. But honesty without discipline is weakness disguised as authenticity. Modern life trains you to react instantly. Notifications demand answers. Disrespect demands retaliation. Stress demands release. And every time you obey that impulse, you reveal something important. You are predictable. Predictability is the opposite of dangerous intelligence. Stoic philosophy teaches a brutal truth. It is not events that control you, but your judgment about them. When someone insults you, interrupts you, or challenges your authority, nothing forces you to react. The loss of control happens inside, not outside. And the person who triggers you does not gain power through strength. They gain it through your surrender. Think about the moments you regret most. The argument that escalated too far, the email was sent too quickly. The decision was made while emotions were loud. Growth rarely happens in those moments. Damage does. Not because you are incapable, but because you reacted instead of choosing. This loss of choice slowly erodes self-respect. Each uncontrolled reaction teaches your mind that circumstances are in charge. Over time, this creates a quiet form of mental dependence. You stop trusting yourself to stay calm. You start fearing situations that might provoke you. That fear shrinks your world. What feels like emotional honesty is often emotional slavery. The stronger your impulses, the easier you are to control. Anyone who understands this can pull your strings with a single word, a look, or a calculated delay. The Stoics trained themselves to insert a pause between stimulus and response. That pause is not passive, it is strategic. In that silence, you regain authorship of your behavior. You see the situation clearly. You choose your action deliberately. And suddenly, the situation no longer owns you. This is why controlled individuals feel intimidating, not because they are aggressive, but because they are unreadable. You cannot rush them, you cannot bait them, you cannot manipulate what you cannot provoke. Start with one discipline. When emotion rises, do nothing for 3 seconds. Breathe once. Ask yourself a single question: is reacting helping me or exposing me? Most of the time, the answer will humble you. Remember this law: if you do not control your reactions, someone else will. And the most dangerous intelligence begins when you refuse to give anyone that privilege, ever again in life, consciously, always. Law 2. Silence sharpens. Intelligence. Most people speak to be seen. They explain to be understood. They argue to feel powerful. but every unnecessary word leaks information, intention, and emotional position. In a world where everyone is talking, the one who stays silent gains the advantage of observation. Silence is not weakness, it is restraint with purpose. Stoic silence is not fear of expression, but mastery over it. When you speak less, you listen more. When you listen more, you collect data others are too busy revealing about themselves. Notice how quickly people fill silence. They rush to justify, to impress, to defend. In those moments, they expose their insecurities, priorities, and hidden motives. The silent mind absorbs all of it without resistance. That is how intelligence sharpens itself. Modern culture mistakes noise for confidence. Social media rewards constant expression. Conversations reward fast responses. But speed is not intelligence. Clarity is. And clarity requires space. Silence creates that space. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed speech should serve reason, not ego. Every word spoken should either improve the situation or strengthen virtue. Anything else was excess. Excess dulls the mind. Think about moments when silence would have served you better. Arguments that escalated because you added one sentence too many. Meetings where your early opinion boxed you into a position you later regretted. Relationships where over-explaining weakened your authority. Silence would not have made you smaller. It would have made you sharper. Silence also protects your inner world. When you constantly explain yourself, you place your identity in other people's hands. You seek validation through words. The Stoic does the opposite. He allows actions, consistency, and restraint to speak instead. This restraint creates presence. People feel it even if they cannot explain it. A quiet individual who listens fully commands more attention than a loud one who competes for it. Silence forces others to lean in. It shifts the balance of power without confrontation. Practice this law deliberately. Reduce your words by half. Answer questions directly, without decoration. Resist the urge to narrate your thoughts. Let pauses exist without rushing to fill them. Each pause strengthens your mental edge. Remember, intelligence is not proven by how much you say. It is revealed by what you choose not to say. And silence, used with discipline, turns awareness into a weapon no impulsive mind can defend against. Over time, this discipline rebuilds self-trust. You realize you do not need constant expression to exist. Your mind becomes quieter, sharper, and far harder for anyone else to read or predict with precision. Law 3. Detach from the need to be liked. The desire to be liked feels harmless, even human, but beneath it lies a quiet trap that slowly dulls your thinking. When approval becomes important, clarity becomes negotiable. You begin to soften truths, delay decisions, and shape yourself to fit expectations that were never meant to guide your life. Modern society trains this dependency early. Likes, praise, agreement, and social acceptance become signals of worth. Over time, the mind learns a dangerous lesson. Safety comes from pleasing others. Intelligence then stops serving truth and starts serving comfort. Stoic philosophy rejects this trade completely. The Stoics understood that approval is unstable and borrowed. What is given today can be withdrawn tomorrow. A mind that depends on it is never free. The moment you seek to be liked, you allow external opinions to rewrite your internal compass. Think about how often you hesitate to speak honestly because you fear friction. How often you tolerate behavior you should challenge. How often you choose harmony over integrity. Each compromise feels small, but together they form a pattern of self-betrayal that erodes confidence from the inside. Detachment does not mean arrogance or hostility. It means emotional independence. A Stoic does not seek to be disliked, but he refuses to negotiate his values for acceptance. He understands that respect follows consistency, not compliance. This shift is uncomfortable. When you stop seeking approval, misunderstandings increase. Silence replaces reassurance. Some people pull away. Others test you. This is not failure. It is filtration. The mind becomes clearer as unnecessary noise falls away. Approval seeking makes you predictable. People sense when you need something from them. That need can be exploited. Detached individuals remove that leverage. They cannot be rushed by disapproval or steered by praise. Their decisions come from principle, not reaction. Practice this law quietly. Say no without apology. Let others feel disappointed without rescuing them. Make one decision each day that aligns with your values, even if it costs you approval. Notice the fear rise, then fade. What remains is a deeper calm. You begin to trust your judgment again. Your thoughts sharpen because they no longer bend toward validation. This is dangerous intelligence. Not loud, not performative, but grounded, autonomous, and increasingly difficult for anyone else to control or influence in subtle ways. Over time, this independence restores dignity. You stop rehearsing explanations in your head. You stop monitoring reactions. Your energy returns inward. From that center, decisions feel cleaner, faster, and harder to manipulate because they answer to principle alone, not approval or applause. Law 4. Expect nothing from people. Expectation feels like hope, but it often operates as a hidden contract. You give trust, effort, patience, or loyalty, and quietly wait for the world to respond fairly. When it doesn't, disappointment follows. Not because reality failed you, but because expectation blinded you. Most emotional pain does not come from what people do. It comes from what you believed they should do. You expected gratitude, you expected loyalty, you expected consistency, and when reality broke those expectations, it felt personal, even unjust. Stoic philosophy dismantles this illusion without mercy. People act according to their character, not your standards. The moment you expect otherwise, you surrender clarity for fantasy. Dangerous intelligence begins where illusion ends. Think back to moments of deep disappointment. Betrayal rarely shocks because of the act itself. It shocks you because you didn't see it coming. You trusted a version of someone that existed only in your mind. Expectation acted as a blindfold. Expectations also weaken judgment. When you expect fairness, you overlook warning signs. When you expect loyalty, you ignore patterns. When you expect others to understand your intentions, you stop communicating clearly. Expectation dulls perception. The Stoics trained themselves to expect nothing, and therefore see everything. This does not make them cold, it makes them prepared. Without expectation, you observe behavior as it is, not as you wish it to be. You stop being surprised by human nature and start navigating it intelligently. This shift changes how you move through the world. You no longer feel shocked when someone disappoints you. You're not crushed when people choose themselves. You remain steady because your emotional balance is not outsourced to others' behavior. Expectation creates dependency. Observation creates independence. The less you expect, the more clearly you see motives, limits, and patterns. Clarity replaces resentment. Calm replaces confusion. Practice this law deliberately. Enter interactions with curiosity, not assumptions. Let people reveal who they are through actions, not promises. Replace expectation with awareness. Instead of asking, "Why did they do this to me?" ask, "What does this show me?" That question restores power. You stop reacting emotionally and start adjusting strategically. You protect yourself without bitterness. You engage without illusion. Remember this: expecting nothing does not mean accepting mistreatment. It means refusing to be surprised by reality. And when reality can no longer shock you, it can no longer control you. Your intelligence sharpens because it no longer fights what is. It works with it, calmly, decisively, and without emotional distortion that clouds judgment or weakens resolve. Law 5. Master what you can control, ignore the rest. The modern mind is exhausted not because life is hard, but because attention is constantly misdirected. You worry about opinions you cannot change, outcomes you cannot guarantee, and events that unfold beyond your reach. This scattered focus drains intelligence and leaves little energy for decisive action. Stoic philosophy draws a ruthless line. Some things are yours to command, most are not. The problem begins when you treat them the same. When you try to control everything, you end up controlling nothing. Consider how much mental energy is spent replaying conversations, imagining future scenarios, or tracking how others might react. None of this sharpens the mind. It dulls it. Attention becomes fragmented. Judgment becomes slow. Anxiety replaces clarity. The Stoics taught that power begins with discrimination. Knowing what lies within your control and releasing the rest is not passivity. It is precision. You direct force where it matters and withdraw it where it doesn't. That alone makes your intelligence more effective than constant effort ever could. What you control is simple but demanding. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your standards. Everything else, results, timing, other people's behavior, remains uncertain. The dangerous mind accepts this without resentment. When you focus only on what you control, something shifts internally. Anxiety loosens its grip. You stop rehearsing imaginary failures. You act cleanly in the present moment. Decisions become sharper because they are not weighed down by outcomes you cannot dictate. This law also strips away distraction. Much of what competes for your attention is irrelevant. Opinions fade. Noise loses power. You stop explaining yourself to people who are not responsible for your progress. Focus condenses. Practice this daily. Write 2 columns, one labeled Control, one labeled Release. Place your effort only in the first place. Every time your mind drifts to the second, bring it back deliberately. This is not suppression. It is training. Over time, this discipline rebuilds trust in your own thinking. You stop reacting to every fluctuation. You stop chasing reassurance. You begin to act with calm confidence because your attention is no longer divided. A focused mind intimidates without effort. Others sense it. They cannot pull you into chaos or urgency. You move deliberately while they rush. Remember, intelligence is not measured by how much you worry. It is measured by how effectively you direct energy. Master what you can control, ignore the rest, and your mind becomes efficient, resilient, and increasingly difficult to destabilize or overwhelm in moments that once would have consumed you entirely. Law 6. Embrace discomfort as mental training. Comfort feels safe, but it quietly weakens the mind. When life becomes too smooth, thinking softens. Resistance disappears, and with it, the edge that keeps awareness sharp. This is why many people feel mentally fragile without knowing why. They have trained themselves to avoid discomfort, not to endure it. Stoic philosophy takes the opposite path. The Stoics believed discomfort was not an enemy, but a teacher. Voluntary hardship was a form of mental conditioning. By choosing difficulty in small, controlled ways, they prepared themselves for larger challenges they could not avoid. Modern life removes friction wherever possible. Food arrives instantly. Answers are one search away. Physical effort is optional. Emotional discomfort is numbed or distracted. Over time, this creates a mind that panics when challenged and collapses under pressure. Think about moments when discomfort forced growth. Difficult conversations, physical exhaustion, long periods of uncertainty. Those experiences did not break you. They refined you. They taught patience, discipline, and self-trust. Comfort never taught those lessons. Discomfort sharpens perception. When you step into difficulty willingly, you pay attention. You become present. The mind stops drifting because survival, effort, and restraint demand focus. That focus is mental strength being forged in real time. This is why disciplined individuals appear resilient. They are not immune to stress. They are trained for it. They have rehearsed discomfort long before it arrived uninvited. Their minds do not panic because they recognize the terrain. Practice this law intentionally. Choose one small discomfort each day. Cold water instead of warm. Silence instead of distraction. Effort instead of ease. Do it without complaint. Observe the mind's resistance. That resistance is the exact muscle you are strengthening. Discomfort also breaks dependency. When you prove to yourself that you can endure more than you thought, fear loses its authority. External pressure becomes manageable. Manipulation becomes ineffective. You stop negotiating with your impulses. Over time, discomfort rebuilds self-respect. You trust yourself because you have evidence of endurance. That trust is the foundation of dangerous intelligence. A mind that knows it can withstand pain is not easily controlled. Remember, comfort makes life feel easier, but difficulty makes you stronger. And strength of mind is not something you claim. It is something you train daily, quietly, until pressure no longer frightens you and challenge becomes familiar territory you know how to move through with steady control. Law 7. Detach from outcomes. Commit to the process. Most people tie their self-worth to results. Success makes them confident. Failure makes them question everything. This emotional attachment turns outcomes into psychological traps. When results control your state of mind, clarity disappears the moment things do not go as planned. Stoic philosophy cuts this attachment at the root. The Stoics understood that outcomes are never fully within your control. Effort is, discipline is, intention is. When you confuse these, you become anxious, hesitant, and predictable. Dangerous intelligence requires freedom from that dependency. Think about how outcome obsession alters behavior. You rush decisions because you fear losing. You avoid challenges because failure feels personal. You overthink because perfection seems safer than action. The mind becomes defensive instead of decisive. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means stability. The Stoic commits fully to the work, not the reward. He judges himself by effort, not applause. This creates a strange calm. When results arrive, he receives them without arrogance. When they do not, he adjusts without despair. This is why outcome-driven people feel fragile. They ride emotional highs and lows dictated by external events. Process-driven individuals remain steady. They move forward regardless of immediate feedback. That steadiness sharpens intelligence because it preserves mental bandwidth. Process commitment also makes you unpredictable. When you are not chasing validation or fearing failure, others cannot manipulate you through incentives or threats. You do the work because it aligns with your standards, not because you are promised a certain result. Practice this law by redefining success. Measure your days by actions taken, not outcomes achieved. Did you show up? Did you apply discipline? Did you act with clarity? Those are within your control. Let results follow when they may. This shift changes how you experience effort. Work becomes cleaner. Fear loses its edge. You stop bargaining with yourself. Progress compounds quietly because it is no longer interrupted by emotional swings. Over time, process loyalty builds confidence rooted in reality. You trust yourself because you keep commitments regardless of circumstance. That trust is mental power. It allows you to move forward without hesitation, even when the path is uncertain. Remember, outcomes fluctuate. Processes endure. When you detach from results and commit to disciplined action, your mind becomes calm under pressure, flexible in strategy, and unshaken by temporary failure. That calm is not passive. It is controlled momentum, one of the clearest signs of dangerously intelligent thinking at work. Law 8. Live by principle, not emotion. Emotions are powerful, but they are unstable. They rise and fall without warning, shaped by sleep, stress, praise, and disappointment. When emotions guide decisions, direction disappears. The mind reacts instead of leads, and intelligence becomes inconsistent. Stoic philosophy places principle above feeling. The Stoics understood that emotions are information, not commands. They can be acknowledged without being obeyed. Principles, on the other hand, remain steady when circumstances shift. They provide structure when emotion demands impulse. Think about moments when emotion led you astray. Anger pushed words you could not take back. Fear delayed actions you knew were necessary. Desire convinced you to compromise standards for temporary relief. Emotion feels urgent, but it is rarely wise. Principles remove hesitation. When values are clear, decisions become simple, even when they are difficult. You no longer debate with your feelings. You act according to what you have chosen to stand for. That consistency creates inner stability others immediately sense. Living by principle is not emotional suppression. It is emotional regulation. You still feel disappointment, frustration, and excitement. The difference is that those feelings no longer steer the wheel. They ride along while reason drives. This is what makes principled individuals hard to manipulate. Emotional appeals lose effectiveness. Guilt, flattery, urgency, and fear no longer override judgment. When someone cannot move you emotionally, they must confront your logic and boundaries instead. Practice this law by defining one principle that governs your actions. It might be honesty, discipline, self-respect, or restraint. Write it down. When emotion surges, ask one question. Does this action align with my principle? If it does, proceed. If it doesn't, pause. This creates a powerful internal order. Over time, emotions settle because they are no longer indulged impulsively. The mind becomes quieter. Decisions feel cleaner. Regret diminishes. Living by principle also restores dignity. You stop feeling pulled apart by conflicting desires. You move in one direction. That alignment strengthens identity. You become someone who can be relied upon by others, and more importantly, by yourself. Remember, emotions are temporary weather. Principles are architecture. When you build your life on principles, intelligence becomes unbreakable, not because you never feel, but because you choose wisely even when feeling strongly. That choice, repeated daily, forms a mind that remains stable under pressure, immune to manipulation, and quietly formidable in any environment you step into. You've just walked through 8 ruthless Stoic laws. Not theory, not motivational phrases, but mental disciplines designed to sharpen your intelligence and harden your inner structure. You learned how uncontrolled reactions make you predictable, how silence sharpens awareness, how detaching from approval restores clarity, and why expecting nothing protects your judgment. You saw how focus on control strengthens the mind, how discomfort trains resilience, why commitment to process frees you from fear, and how living by principle makes intelligence unbreakable. But understanding these laws is not enough. Stoic philosophy was never meant to stay in your head. It was meant to be practiced daily, quietly, and consistently. So don't try to apply all 8 at once. Choose one law, the one that exposes your weakness the most, and practice it for the next 7 days. Observe yourself. Notice the resistance. That resistance is proof that change is happening. Remember, the goal is not to become cold or detached from life. The goal is to become calm under pressure, clear in chaos, and steady when others lose control. That is what dangerously intelligent truly means. If this video gives you clarity, take a moment to support the channel. Like the video, subscribe for future Stoic training, and share it with someone who needs mental strength, not empty motivation. Thank you for spending this time training your mind with me. Until the next video, stay disciplined, stay grounded, and keep building a mind no one can easily shake.